How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's doing well. I'm what you need. You watching my channel? If you like what you're seeing, don't forget to share, comment, subscribe, and donate via Western Union or MoneyGram. Let's get into it. I'm going to start off with Glovegate because I think I want to get that out of the way. Teddy Atlas on the show spoke about the impossibility of Tyson Fury tampering with his gloves, or that the gloves were tampered with. I think he's 100% correct. I don't think that the gloves themselves. Championship Boxing, what's up, my brother? How are you doing? Smash that like button, please. I don't think the gloves themselves were tampered with. So he's absolutely correct in that regard, I believe. Of course, anything is possible in boxing. Don't forget to smash that like button if you like what you're hearing. But then he goes on to, without demonstrating, sort of compromise. He does a compromise in that all the demonstrations that have been shown, he's saying that Tyson Fury somehow, some way, slips his glove just a little bit below the glove fingers. So he tries to strike a compromise where Tyson Fury is still flicking with his gloves, when in fact that's not the case. We know because he wants to discount that Tyson Fury deliberately did what he did. And he's trying to show that it's not illegal what he did. But see, the thing that Teddy Atlas is missing is Tyson Fury has been caught with another referee in a fight versus Christian Hammer doing exactly what he did in the Deontay Wilder fight. And it's now proven that through several fights Tyson Fury has had, several, he's been doing that with the gloves and the left hand. You look at the action of the glove in the left hand versus the glove on the right hand, and you'll notice that they are different. So Teddy Atlas tries to make a sort of compromised description of what he thinks is happening with Tyson Fury. And Teddy Atlas should know better. Okay? Now, and he continues to speak about conspiracy theorists. I mean, you don't got to be a blind man to see that Tyson Fury was punching with the upper part of the glove empty. That's not double jointed unless you're double jointed at the top of your hand. In other words, I can't take the top of my hand here above, just, on the upper part of my palm and bend it back 90 degrees. I can't do that. That was what is happening with the glove. The glove, the top part of the glove here, is bending back 90 degrees. It's not just the wrist, it's the top part of the glove. The only reason it would do that is because there's something substantial in the palm of the glove, in the lower part of the glove, something solid. Why would it bend like that? So to hear, I'm a truth seeker. I just want to find the truth. I'm a guy, I might debate people and whatever, but if you show me something that proves that it's true, why would I mean, listen, I like Tyson Fury a lot. I like his style of boxing. I like what he represents. A fantastic fighter. But what I don't like is that he cheated. And I also didn't like that, at first I thought it was a conspiracy theory too, salty Wilder fans. I even said so in one of my polls, and then I saw the videos. And there's no way whatsoever that Teddy Atlas can make that excuse for Tyson Fury. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's people catching on to cheating in boxing. And now we find out Tyson Fury also lied concerning the steroid use that he had. Okay? And once again, this has nothing to do with hating Tyson Fury, has nothing to do with that. Like I said before, I love Tyson Fury's style. I've been on record saying I think he's the number one heavyweight in the division. His performance was sensational, but he cheated, and that's my problem. And if any of you guys are defending that, it means some other boxer can do the same. You're allowing, because you don't care about the sport of boxing. See, you're only seeing Tyson Fury and people trying to dirty his name. You're not seeing that this is a precedent that if it's not checked, somebody else will try it. And someone else will try it. And someone else will try it. And that's my problem. And if you love the sport of boxing, not just a fighter, you will be able to see this objectively, and you will not be trying to cover it up. Okay? It's okay to try and disprove it. All right? To defend the guy. But you will not be trying to cover up something that's wrong. You try to find the root and the truth of it. And there's video evidence of this. This is not something where this is something subject to debate. This is video evidence of this. So the people trying to wish this thing away, something's wrong with you guys. You're too much in fandom. I'm a Tyson Fury fan, but if it looked fishy, I'm going to say it. I'm a Floyd Mayweather Jr. fan, at least when he was boxing. But I'll acknowledge when some shit was fishy. Okay? And I have. I'm a Canelo fan. But even now, I'm second guessing Canelo and the tainted meat story. Because the WBC be doing some weird shit of late. And you have to, as a fan, question certain things. We don't have plain, clear evidence of Canelo cheating. We don't have plain, clear evidence of Floyd cheating. That doesn't mean they didn't cheat. So you can't come out there and say 100% they didn't cheat. No, I wouldn't do that. From the information and evidence that was piled up on Dillian White, on Floyd Mayweather, okay, on Canelo Alvarez, I would say that by and large, Dillian White, I always maintain that Dillian White, I don't believe the charges that Thomas Hauser brought up on him, because I know Thomas Hauser is a sensationalist. He lies. His information is inaccurate. And that was in the case of Floyd Mayweather. Doesn't mean that Floyd Mayweather didn't cheat somehow. I don't know how. You know that vampire facial that he did? In some way, he was trying to circumvent the system. Even though we know that vampire facials don't universally affect the body, I still believe that somehow, some way, he could have circumvented the system that way. It's possible. I don't pass it by Floyd, right? I'm not saying that his character is in question, but he's done a lot of crazy things. So it's possible. So I'm not 100% sure, but I would say it's unlikely. I'm not going to put my head on a block for these guys. No, because all of them take something that we all know. All of them take something. You cannot perform at that level if you're not taking something. So I don't want to hear that. When you are at the elite level, look at these guys. Look at their fitness. They're separated from other guys. Look at, what's his name? And that's where Victor Conte comes in. And he's showing that you are taking supplements. You're taking something. Okay? How straight is Victor Conte? We don't know. We don't know. Right? But so far, Fada's not catching anybody concerning stuff that Victor Conte is doing. But it looks like he's reformed himself. Who knows? Right? But what I can say is a lot of boxers coming out and talking about his products and so on, and, marketing it openly to the public so that at least the products that he's putting out there, he's leaving them to be tested by boxing buddies and everything. He's leaving himself open to be tested, to be checked out if he's doing the right thing or not. All right? So maybe he's reformed, maybe he's not. But here's the case that I want to make. All right? The case I want to make is this. When you know something is unlikely, you state it that it's unlikely. When you see something that's fishy, you must state it, that it's fishy. When you see facts supporting someone doing something dirty, you must state them. Jarrell Miller did something dirty. Okay? Dillian White, as far as we know, I don't know all the details, didn't do something dirty, as far as we can see. Okay? And he got a bad rep for it, which is sad. Now, he has a history of cheating before. He has cheated before and been disciplined. So I can understand why people would, but from the evidence I see, I can't prove that. I can't prove he's dirty. All right? I'm not saying categorically he's not dirty, but from the evidence we got, it doesn't seem like he was dirty because he was cleared. Okay? So why I'm saying this is we know that UCAD has an interesting way of doing certain things. Maybe they're being just very thorough. I don't know. Because UCAD's the ones that caught Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury said, why didn't you give me this information before? All right. And UCAD does work in a sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? They keep privacy of the client. But nonetheless, I can't really go hard on UCAD. And I listen to Champside as well, but I can't go hard on UCAD. I can't. Not yet. All right. Now, the WBC been saying some weird shit as well. I don't know what to make of that. Okay. So we all know boxing is dirty, but we as fans need to hold these bodies accountable. We need to let them know, listen, man, listen, we're not buying that shit. We have to do it as fans. That's the only way these guys are going to straighten up and fly right. Okay? They got away with shit in the 90s and the 80s and the 70s and the 60s. They got away with it because we was ignorant. Nowadays, we shouldn't let them get away with this stuff. And my boy Tommy Temper was the guy that showed me how you could blood dope and get away with it. Okay? These guys shouldn't be able to get away with these things. Okay? So you're able to get past a test. And they say, oh, you were clean, but you're not clean. All right, now we know it's a reality that this is going on. And it's very prevalent. But my point is that if we can find out the people who are cheating, you know, then we should be strong on that. Period. Take it on. Take it on. But then there's documented evidence showing he cheated. And now you can't go against that. You can't. There's precedent even. Not that precedent is everything, but he's been doing it for a number of fights. You cannot go against that. Now, I understand that Wilder fans, they have a vendetta and they're trying to dirty his name. I'm not down that road. I think he's an excellent boxer. But I do believe for this third fight, they better be, the commissioner and all these other people who are dealing with it, they need to be on their P's and Q's. Otherwise, they're going to get dirtied for that. Let him beat Deontay Wilder clean. And he can. I don't see why, this is the thing I don't understand. This dude, he still faced Christian Hammer with his glove properly put on, and he beat his ass. So why do you need to cheat to get an edge? Why? That's my thing. I don't understand it. The man's got all you need to win fights. Why do you need this edge? The competitive edge. This guy's always trying to scrape and get an extra edge. Mayweather was the same way, okay? You can see that Fury admires and follows things that Floyd Mayweather has done, but you don't have to cheat. You don't have to do that to get the little edge. If I had to say something to Tyson Fury, don't cheat, bro. I know you want spectacular wins and you want to look sensational and all that, but don't cheat, bro. Same thing for Billy Joe Saunders. Don't cheat, brother. I don't know if he's cheating or not, but he been with a gym that they use steroids on it. People been caught with steroids a number of times. Don't cheat. Don't do it. It's very tantalizing. You want to get that edge, but don't do it. Keep your personal integrity. Now, my boy Charles Martin, he wasn't, he had skills, but he didn't have that, he wasn't doping. Let's just put it that way. Anthony Joshua smoked his ass. Well, the fight was stopped a little too soon, but anyway, Joshua smoked his ass. He dropped him a couple times. And then Charles Martin realized it wasn't just skills, you got to have strength. And now he's building strength, he's building power, right? Now, my point is not that Anthony Joshua is dirty, all right? But my point is there's a difference between them guys on the highest level and them guys who, they got to the highest level, but they ain't got that extra something that you need to stay in that high level. Danny Garcia eating a flush right by Keith Thurman, knocked out on his feet and still comes back. Come on now. He taking something. Floyd Mayweather gets a flush shot and he just hubbled to the corner and smiles. Come on, man. He taking something. Ain't no human being can take a flush shot like that and still remain standing. Come on, people. Come on, people. That's superhuman. And it's not just mental. It's something they taking. I'm not saying that it's illegal, but it sure as hell is something they're taking. It's not just conditioning. Come on, people. Come on, people. Y'all know this. We must be honest. Now, what they taking? We don't know. I've seen guys hit each other with hellacious shots, and they take it. And I'm like, nah, there ain't nobody with a hell of a chin like that. Not naturally. I don't care how much you do in boxing. There ain't nobody naturally with a hell of a chin like that. Come on now. Come on now, people. Let me talk to you guys in the chat section before I move on, because I really want to talk about Roger Mayweather a bit. So Championship Boxing says the fight for Tyson Fury out of this situation is a lot. There was blood on his left hand wraps after the fight. Now, let me just say this. I really don't want to see him suspended from boxing. UKAD's been favoring these UK fighters anyway, but I'm not saying that they wrong. I'm not even saying they favoring them, actually. Now that I think about it, I'll take that back. But I hope he doesn't get suspended from boxing for 8 years. I hope he gets to fight that third rematch with Wilder, okay? But I'm just saying that people need to put precautions in place. As I said before, I am a Tyson Fury fan. Don't get it tripped. Don't get it twisted. I'm a Deontay Wilder fan as well. But I truly believe Tyson Fury's got everything that's necessary to beat Deontay Wilder, and he showed it. All right, he had him occupied. He had him on the back foot. It forced him on the back foot in a way that Deontay Wilder was not used to and accustomed to. I mean, he controlled him. I mean, he roughed him up on the inside. I mean, he outboxed him on the inside. He was outworking him on the inside. Okay, so we can't take that away from Tyson Fury. It wasn't just the glove that he would have beaten his ass anyway. Now, but the thing I'm saying is, I wouldn't guarantee he would have beaten his ass, but Deontay Wilder, at least, the way how Tyson Fury was fighting, he took away Deontay Wilder's right hand long time. Like, he took it away from him. All right? And so Deontay Wilder was just depending on his right hand. He tried to throw some left hooks and shit, but he was on the back foot a lot. And it's not that Deontay Wilder is not able to fight on the back foot. It's just that Tyson Fury forced him, to be on the back foot. It was bringing the heat on him early with feints and all of that. So I'm not saying that Tyson Fury wouldn't have beaten Deontay Wilder and even his game plan wouldn't have worked. I'm just saying this takes away from it, man. Why'd you have to do that, Tyson Fury? I understand the illusion of distance. I understand getting the guy to stay on the back foot, and he thinks he's not estimating the distance properly and all of that. I get it, but come on, man. You didn't really need it. You know what I'm saying? He didn't need that. Maybe he wouldn't have gotten the stoppage. He wouldn't have looked so sensational, but he didn't need it. He would have been still beating Deontay. We saw it in the first fight. He was walking his ass down. Okay? So, I mean, he could have done it still, right? He was a bigger dude and all of that. You don't need all these advantages, man. Don't break the rules. I see you guys I see all these fighters trying to straddle the fence. They be trying to find that edge, right? I understand it's uncertain, so you want to make it as certain as possible. I get it. From a boxer's perspective, I get what they're trying to do. But you don't need to cheat people. They'll tell you, no, you do need to. Just don't get caught. They'll tell you that. No, you don't need to cheat, period. right? There's a lot of nutrition and stuff out here that's better than even those things anyway, right? Look at me, how healthy I look, okay? Because I'm using the right things. I'm probably stronger, faster, and better than I was when I was younger. Still got a little gas problem, and that's because of activities I do. But nonetheless, I'm better, I'm stronger, I'm faster. I got better knowledge. I still have, I get injuries a little bit faster than when I was younger, but you know. So my point is, it can be done, right? Yes, you have to go through the grind and make sure you can get through the grinding sessions as well. But look what Manny Pacquiao do. Manny Pacquiao don't be boxing in between fights. Nope. He gonna do it when he go into training camp, but he can't stay in shape. Very smart. Very smart. Right? Cause he knows the drill. He knows what he has to do. He knows his style. Let me go back to you guys and your comments before I move into Roger Mayweather. Because I had to talk on this Glovegate thing. I don't understand why guys like Teddy Atlas would be saying things like this, man. What are you trying to do? Cover up the dude? What are you guys trying? What are they trying to do? Why are they doing this? I don't understand. Right? Why are they doing this? You don't have to be a Deontay Wilder fan to understand this, man. I just don't understand. I don't understand why they're doing that. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Come through. Let's. I'm not a Tyson Fury hater. Anybody who knows me, know Tyson Fury's my dude, man. Championship Boxing says there was blood on his left hand wraps after the fight. That could happen when you punching a guy. The problem with it is, where was it? On the knuckle area of the wraps? If it was on the knuckle area of the wraps, that means that area somehow was exposed, which means when we was looking at the wraps and you were seeing some of this in there, it means some of the blood got inside of there, which means he was punching with this area. He was punching with the palm of the wraps. Palm of the glove, sorry. Which is why the knuckles look so bloody. Right? You know, the blood might seep into the back of the knuckles, but more to the front of the knuckles you have to look at. And even if he's punching with the back of the knuckles, some of the blood might come in there, but it's weird as hell, man. You know. But, you know, blood could probably smear on the knuckles as you're pulling off the gloves as well. You know, because there was a lot of blood. And that showed that they're saying, well, because he was using the Everlast, MX gloves, you know, with the horse here, he was able to strike Wilder better. But I'm saying, was there blood on the right hand wraps? That's what you got to ask yourself. Was there blood on the right hand wraps? If there wasn't blood on the right hand wraps, then something fishy going on, right? Let me get to guys. And you just got to, people, you got to be just honest, man. Why you guys got to be like that? You know, I mean, shout out to the Fury haters, Tommy Temper. Ain't no Fury haters out here, man. Stop being a fanboy in there. Stop it. Love Tyson Fury, man. But if you're cheating, don't do that. I don't care if you Floyd Mayweather. I don't care if you Canelo. Don't cheat. I can't defend that shit. Championship Boxing, well explained. What's going on, Tommy Tempers? Repeat the question, please. Explain how Tyson Fury is innocent. He ain't innocent. Not of that. He needs to cheat because he didn't trust in himself to beat Wilder. Of course. And he's trying to get an edge. They're trying to get an edge. All of them trying to get an edge. At the highest level, you're trying to get an edge. There's a difference. It's a very small difference between really good and good. Fury hasn't popped. I thought he passed Wilder. He passed the Wilder, for sure. But in his fight versus, I think it was Klitschko right after the, after the Christian Hammer fight, he popped dirty for Nandrolone. He popped dirty for it. And UCAD gave him the results after his first fight with Vladimir Klitschko, about 8-9 months after. His excuse was that he ate wild boar meat, which the guy who they had vouched for that, he's now recanted his statement 5 years later and said, no, he don't even rear wild boars. He cheated. He and Billy Joe Saunders. No, Huey Fury, I think it was. Huey Fury himself. You can check out that information. Listen. I'm not trying to, I don't like tarnishing fighters' names. But we got to come to the truth of the matter. And I'm not a Wilder fan like that. All right. Do I think Wilder would have had better chances against Tyson Fury had he not done this glove thing? Yeah, of course. But would he have won? Less likely, because the skill that Tyson Fury presents to the table, I don't think so. That's my personal. Anything can happen in boxing, but I just didn't. I don't think Wilder was ready for Fury to walk him down, to be honest with you. He wasn't ready for that. And Fury was walking him down smart, so I don't think he was going to win that fight. That's my personal opinion. So some people will say, well, what does it matter? It does matter, because other people will try this. We don't want them trying. Okay, we want the sport to be clean. If he gets away with this, somebody else is going to try it. They're going to work it out and they're going to try it. Okay? We may have Canelo versus Billy Joe Saunders. Why wouldn't Billy Joe Saunders try it? And that goes for Canelo too. Canelo, if he gets it, if he was dirty with the clean meat stuff, where the meat had the clenbuterol, guess what? Now the WBC makes it possible for people who actually cheat with clenbuterol to actually come up and say, it's just the meat. And if their level's a certain level, which they can do by cycling, if their level's a certain level, they can get away. WBC reversed the Canelo stuff. So there's a precedent to things. Now, I'm not saying that Canelo was dirty. Not saying that either, right? Because he tried his best to clear his name. He brought hair follicles. He contested it, and he kept on relentlessly contesting it. But my thing is that it's a precedent, nonetheless, that they're leading to. It's not just Canelo. You know what I mean? Then championship boxing champ says his right hand had no blood on it, which proves my point. You see what I'm saying? Now, a lot of people think that this is just conspiracy theory rubbish. I wish it was, man. I wish it was. Anyway, I'm done with this. I got to talk about something else, which is Roger, the Black Mamba Mayweather. This man been in epic fights. He's been knocked out, like Manny Pacquiao. He's been knocked out. But, man, this dude used to put guys to sleep. If you want to know the hardest punch of Mayweather, Roger Mayweather was the dude. He's long, skilled, lanky. And man, when he put that right hand on you, you're going to drop. He dropped Pernell Whitaker in their incredible fight. Pernell Whitaker looked like he was out on his feet. Pernell would drop Roger Mayweather right after. I mean, it was a crazy fight. He'd been in some really crazy-ass fights. His defense wasn't the tightest in the world. Floyd benefited from him being his trainer because Roger would say, walk his ass down. Take it to him. Walk his ass down. He ain't like fighting backwards. Walk his ass down. Keep doing what you're doing. Right? That's what Roger was very aggressive. So he would have Floyd do a lot of aggressive things. Like, against the Miguel Cotto fight, he was like, he time. Walk his ass down. Had Floyd engaging Cotto more than Floyd would have engaged Cotto. Floyd would come back in the corner with his nose bloody and he just kind of slightly smiling, embarrassed and stuff. And Roger would be like, don't worry, he tired. Walk to him. Walk his ass down. Roger was a very aggressive fighter, okay? For people who don't know. That way he got caught with shots and get knocked the fuck out too. Julio Cesar Chavez. Roger didn't really take a lot of steps backwards. He was a very aggressive fighter. His fights against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. was incredible. Chavez knocked his ass out early in the first fight. In the second fight, Roger was beating his ass. And then he retired on his stool. So Julio Cesar Chavez was able to beat him. Chavez was like, it's like Ali versus Frazier 3. Chavez was about to quit. Roger quit before he quit. Roger was like, man, I just had one more round. That was interesting. So, Roger Mayweather said, Julio Cesar Chavez was like the toughest fight he had and stuff like that. He'd been in epic fights. One of the fights that he actually won was against Costa Azul. He was the old dude. Costa Azul was on the rise, so they gave it to Costa Azul. But Roger Mayweather was a hell of a fighter, hell of a boxer, epic, legendary fighter. But once again, his defense would fail him because he'd be so aggressive, and that's how he'd get caught. And so he'd been knocked out by some guys made their name off of him. And then after that, they went on to do great things. But I can never forget his knockout of Arundo. I think it's Arundo is his name. For the super lightweight championship of the world. He sparked that dude out. They was trading, and he caught him with a right, and it was like lights out. Like the dude, like it was a genuine KO. The guy was out for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, some shit like that. Like Marcus versus Pacquiao. It was like he was out. He was known as the Mexican Assassin, of course, because he used to murk Mexican fighters, man. He was like, I'm the dude up in here. And then he would just totally destroy them. Like he would knock them the hell out. In fact, he got more KOs on his resume than he has TKOs. The Black Mamba. He was dangerous. He had dangerous hands, man. And he fought from super featherweight all the way up to welterweight. His last couple of fights was welterweight. Of course, he took a lot of damage, even though he was somewhat of a slick fighter. He wasn't as slick as his older brother, which was Mayweather Sr., Floyd Mayweather Sr. And so he took some punishment. And even Floyd Mayweather Sr. took some punishment as well. And Floyd learned from both of them. He always told people, because he died at 58, this is young. It's young. We all know 58 is a young age now. And he died of diabetes and also, problems with the mind, the brain, dementia. And that's because of boxing. Boxing did that to Roger, okay? That's why Floyd was informed. He said, I don't take unnecessary punishment. When Roger was training Floyd was an extremely aggressive fighter, okay? Roger trained Floyd from, 1997, I think, or something like that, all the way up to 2000 and I think it was 2010 or 2011, some shit like that. The Shane Mosley fight, very aggressive Floyd Mayweather. Okay, Floyd Mayweather was a very aggressive fighter. Even with the Oscar De La Hoya fight, again, he was telling Floyd, he gonna tire, he gonna slow down. And that's where we would take him. So we box him early, and then we would tag his ass up later on. So that's what Floyd was. That was the game plan for Oscar De La Hoya. And Floyd was an extremely aggressive fighter. Even against Carlos Baldomir, where Roger wasn't able to train him because he had been suspended from boxing for the Zab Judah fight. Floyd figured out Carlos Baldomir. You could not. Carlos Baldomir was so awkward that you couldn't use a jab against Carlos Baldomir. But that's a whole other story for another day. There's some fighters, the jab just don't work against them. People don't know this, you see. So you have to know your opponent like that. And the only way there's guys like Floyd and guys like Pacquiao do it is they just get in the ring and then they have to figure out what the dude's doing. It wasn't just Pretty Boy Floyd. You look at Money Mayweather. Look at his fights against Juan Manuel Marquez. He was a beast. Marquez went the distance with him, but he took punishment. His fight against Ricky Hatton, that was Money Mayweather who faced Ricky Hatton and knocked his ass out going backwards. Again, he beat him to a pulp on the inside. Like he was beating. Ricky Hatton said, man, I didn't know this guy was so good on the inside. They thought he was just an outboxer and shit like that. Nope. Physically strong on the inside too. And Roger Mayweather was, again, training him there. I think it was somewhere, the Shane Mosley fights, you saw how aggressive Floyd was again. He couldn't knock out Shane Mosley. Nobody knocks out Shane Mosley. But he was beating Shane Mosley's ass around the ring. Again, that aggressive Floyd Mayweather, come forward Floyd, Roger Mayweather was his trainer. Okay, and Roger Mayweather was an aggressive dude. Very aggressive. Even his fight against Miguel Cotto, I think Roger Mayweather trained him from 1997 all the way up to 2012, I think, or something like that. So he trained him for a substantial portion of his career. I think the Robert Guerrero fight, Senior started training him again. But Mayweather was very aggressive. Roger would make him very aggressive. Like, go out there and tear his ass up. Roger had that wild voice, too. You know, and Roger was very crass. You know, Mayweather Senior is more refined. You know, he's the guy that do the art. He praised himself a lot, but he was more refined. Roger wasn't refined at all. Roger was a dog. He was aggressive. He was like, push his ass backward. Push his ass backward. Keep pushing him back. Walk to him. Walk to him. You know, the Zab Judah fight. Floyd dogged Zab Judah and walked to him, started breaking down the body of Zab Judah. You know, Zab Judah talked about the expertise. Roger Mayweather was the guy that was training him. Roger Mayweather was very aggressive, mean streak, you know. So that's why Floyd had that mean streak in him. He wasn't just boxing people. You know, this kid, what's his name? Shakur's off the back foot. He keep range and stuff, and he boxed on the outside. But, man, Roger had that spirit in him that, you know, Floyd would be like, okay. Roger said, walk to him. Make sure you walk to him. He'd be like, okay. It was crazy listening to Roger in the corner because he'd be cussing like crazy. Beat his fucking ass. Walk to him. Walk his ass down. He can't fight but going backwards. Walk his ass down. Roger had that dog in him. And you know, Floyd respected Roger because that was Roger's fighting style. You know, his father, Floyd Mayweather Sr., couldn't do that with him. Floyd Mayweather Sr. couldn't say, you know, remember the Pacquiao fight where Sr. was like, he will take this fight from you. You know, you got to walk him down. He couldn't convince Floyd because he never really did that in his boxing fights. Mayweather Sr. more fought off the back foot. But if that was Roger in the corner against Pacquiao, Floyd would have knocked his ass out. He'd have knocked his ass out. All right, because Roger just propel you, man. He got that dog in him and mean streak in him, and he would have made Floyd become mean. Floyd would have taken a lot more punishment, but he'd have walked Pacquiao's ass down like Senior wanted him to. But Senior didn't have that cachet, that experience of walking people down and knocking their ass out. Okay, Sean Bay Mitchell, how Floyd took out Sean Bay Mitchell was nasty. He was just real mean and just on him all the time. He didn't give him a breath. And Mitchell was already old, but he had a great comeback fight where he upset a dude that was on the rise. But Floyd was like on him like a dog. He was a smaller guy, but he was on him. And the reason that was so because Roger just had that vibe. Get his ass. Don't give him time to breathe. Walk him down. Right? Roger was that kind of dude. And Roger was speaking from that. He was speaking from his heart. That was what Roger was, aggressive dude. So you look at all Roger Mayweather's fights, man, he's a very aggressive guy. Very aggressive guy. You know, very rarely he boxes off the back foot. He can box a bit on the back foot, you know, set you up and get you with a counter. And Roger knew how to roll punches, you know, slip punches, all that stuff. He knew all of that stuff. Of course, he taught fighters and young fighters, you know, all of these, you know, the young Floyd Mayweather guys and all those guys. He taught a lot of people in boxing, you know. But the thing with Roger was he even taught Jeff Mayweather boxing. Jeff was a very good defensive fighter, probably the best in all the Mayweathers. But the thing about it is that Roger would know what to do, but he would not apply it. He was so aggressive. Kind of like Errol Spence. Errol Spence knows how to box. That's what a lot of you guys don't realize. I watched him versus Mikey Garcia. Errol Spence knows how to box. The problem is, Errol Spence said, fuck the boxing. I'm going to walk his ass down. That's Errol Spence. He's like a dog. He can box you, and he can do it brilliantly. But instead, he chooses to walk you down. He prefers to clash. He prefers to clash with you. He's not brawling. He's going to technically work you out, but he preferred to clash with you and get the win. Okay? And that was Roger. Pretty Boy Floyd was aggressive. Like I said, not just Pretty Boy Floyd. Money Mayweather as well. All the way up to 2012, he was a very aggressive fighter. Look what he did to Victor Ortiz. Y'all remember that? How he was beating his ass? He the smaller dude. And he was beating his, and Roger's in the corner saying, take the fight to him. Walk his ass down. Walk. Roger was a very aggressive guy. Very aggressive. In fact, we all know Roger Mayweather punched women, and he had a lot of domestic cases going on and all that shit. Roger was very aggressive. Very aggressive guy. Championship boxing channel says, do you think Floyd would have knocked Manny out if Roger was in the corner? Yeah. If he didn't knock him out, he would have beat him up real bad. He would have done to him what he did to Marquez. He'd have beaten the shit out of Pacquiao. Roger's just that dude. He's very aggressive. He's very aggressive. He took a lot more punishment, though. Pacquiao would have gotten some more great shots in there, but it would have been much more exciting. A fight. Technical, but still more exciting. Championship boxing says, Errol skill is top 5 in the game right now. Yeah. Top 5, probably even higher than that. He's an incredibly skilled fighter, but he don't use all his skill. When he sees a guy that don't belong in the ring with him, he just walk his ass down and beat him up. Still using technique, don't get me wrong. He's using technique and skill, but he's not using everything. Against Mikey, he knew Mikey had power. He had pop. Mikey has pop. Well, we all know that now. Against Jesse Vargas, we saw it. Mikey's a little bit more defensive now. You know, when I look at him, he keep your high guard up and stuff based on the Errol Spence fight. Mikey wants that rematch with Errol Spence. He wants that rematch. He wanted to show he could close the distance because later on in the fight, he was fighting on the inside. He closed the distance. Errol was just really good on the inside too, but it was much more of a mix-up. He could actually touch Errol. You know, he was actually getting more shots in. You know. So he, of course, he wants the rematch with Errol. Of course. But Errol's he's a different cat, man. Not only is he strong and powerful, but he's very precise. He's very technical. Very technical fighter. And, you know, he got some skills, boy. Not just the pivot work, but changing the levels, the feinting, all that stuff. I was looking at his fight against Mikey Garcia. He was literally had an answer for everything Mikey was trying to do. Mikey was trying to feint, get off the angle on the side. Errol would adjust the angle. I mean, it was just crazy. Championship Boxing Channel says, Canelo, Errol, Bud, best skill fighters right now. No, you got to put Tyson Fury in there. Don't forget Billy Joe Saunders, Demetrius Andrade. I mean, we got a pack, man. Gervonta Davis, fucking Devin Haney. Come on, man. Dude, we got a lot of really skilled fighters out here. You know, Lomachenko, you know, man, the list goes on and on and on. Josh Taylor, Regis Prograis, you know, let's not talk about Sean Porter. Sean Porter is a no joke either. Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, what's his name? That heavyweight dude from Russia. That dude's good. Not Pulev, another guy I'm talking about. Even Joshua, Anthony Joshua, he's a bit stiff, but you know, he got some skill. He showed us against the second Andy Ruiz fight. I mean, we got guys out here, man. We got a lot of guys. Artur Beterbiev. I mean, come on, man. Dimitri Bivol. I mean, we got some real. I mean, boxing's in a good place. Don't get it twisted. You know, you could just call names in almost every division. We got now Inoue, Nolito Donaire. We got Rick Guillermo Reagan now. We got John Rael Casimiro. You know, I mean, I could start calling names, man. I'm taking numbers. Almost every division got, you know, some really skilled people, man. We got Shakur Stevenson. Whether you guys admit it or not, Leo Santa Cruz is a skilled fighter. We just haven't seen him with all his skills, but he handled, what's his name? He handled Carl, what's his name? Carl, the kid from England. He handled him in the second fight. He beat him, you know, and then he outboxed, ladies and gentlemen, that Mexican dude, I forgot what his name, who's going to face Gervonta Davis. I mean, Leo Santa Cruz ain't no joke, man. Then we got also, what's his name? Junior, Gary Russell Jr., right? Then he got his brothers coming up. You know, some of his brothers, what's the kid? Super welterweight, man. His brother who's a super welterweight, Gary Russell Jr. as well. He a bad motherfucker, man. He got some skill. You know, we got a lot of skilled fighters out here, man. Got a lot of really skilled fighters. And we'll know in time. Canelo's a little bit ahead of the curve because he got a lot more experience. You know, but, you know, we got a lot of skilled fighters out here. Skills, talking skills now. The ability to do certain things in the ring, you know, off of the fundamental skills, something that you've been taught. I'm not talking talent now, skills. We got a lot of skilled fighters out here. You know, in terms of home skills or elite skills, that's another story too. Hey man, I gotta move for a second. I'm gonna come back to you guys just a minute and talk with you guys a little bit more. Sorry about that. Yeah, man, we got some really skilled fighters out in boxing, man. We got some really good stuff going on. Errol is too strong for Mikey. I don't think so. I think the problem was range. Mikey just moved up into the division. He did very, very well. I think Mikey's a very, very strong fighter. I don't think Errol's too strong for Mikey per se. I don't think Errol's too strong for Terrence Crawford either. I think that Terrence has definitely acclimatized to the weight now, 4 years in or something like that. So I think it's just that Errol is so technically sharp and precise and accurate. You know, Terrence is more flexible, you know, might be a little bit more creative, but he's not as sharp and accurate as Errol is. Errol's very accurate. He's pinpoint accurate in everything he does. You can see he honed those skills. It's not by flukes, man. And I think a lot of people take it for granted. Even when you look at his fight against Sean Porter, how pinpoint accurate he is with certain shots. He's sneaking in on Sean Porter. You know, finally knocks down Sean Porter because Sean Porter's making mistakes all the time. That's Errol, man. Errol's special. He's a special dude. You know, and people don't pick up a lot of things that he does in that ring. You know, his coach does a great job with him, but I don't know who would win against him and Terrence Crawford now. I'm not too sure. But I would say that I think Errol has the better resume at welterweight. I think Errol's fought the better competition and the better fights. And I just think that Terrence right now is not getting those kinds of fights. And I'm just hoping that Terrence will get some of those fights to at least boost his cachet, you know, at welterweight. He needs to get some good big fights. He's not having big fights. He's having fights, but he's not having big fights. And he needs some big fights. You know, the Amir Khan fight was a big one, you know, but Amir Khan, the name of Amir Khan was great. But in terms of Amir Khan, where he stood and what he was about, he went on that level. He wasn't a top 10 welterweight even, I don't think. So, you know, Amir Khan's still looking for the big fights, you know, trying to ride off his name. But Amir Khan's not much of anything now. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to Amir Khan. I'm not trying to diss Amir Khan, but it's like they're trying to extend his career. Like that boxing thing's pretty much done for him. You know, and they're trying to just kind of extend his fights so he can get a big fight and then have easy fights in between and another big fight. You know, that's the kind of thing going on. So that's the story with Amir Khan. But with respect to Terrence Crawford, you know, for us to really believe that he could really hang in there, we just want to see a good fight with, you know, a very good top tier, you know, welterweight. And if it's Kell Brook, then let's go. You know, Kell Brook's perfect, I think. If Kell Brook can make the weight, which he probably can't, it'll be a great fight. You know, so that's what we want to see. Yeah, Kell Brook got high orbital problems, but it wasn't a problem in his last fight. And I don't think it'll be a problem in the fight with Terrence Crawford, seeing that he broke one eye orbital. That eye orbital wasn't the one that broke. That means it healed back stronger. He broke the other one, and that's probably healed back stronger. So Kell should be fine. So that's basically what I got for you guys, man. I was gonna go out and sell this afternoon, but I think I'm gonna have to chill on that. 3 people in the chat right now, guys. Don't forget to smash that like button. Smash that like button. That will do me some help because it brings more prominence. Also, if you guys can share these videos to other people, that would be helpful as well to me, where I can tell them again that you can donate via Western Union or MoneyGram, so that people actually donate into my channel. Because when I get more donations, then it means I can actually do more content the way I really want to do it, which it's not that I lack money, but it's the time. So like I'm talking here for about almost an hour boxing with you guys, which is not a problem, right? A lot of you guys love that. But the problem with it is it takes from my time working. So if I can have money being made here, then I won't have to be going out there and working so much every day, so that I can actually put more time and effort into the videos. That's what I'm trying to explain to people. And any kind of donation is great. You know, if you think that the content is worth your while, donate. That's all I'm saying. I know money's kind of hard to come by with a lot of people right now. A lot of you maybe talking to me, you can't get money come by. So that's why I say share the videos so other people can see. A lot of people who look at my channel and they're like, yeah, I love your content. I love what you're doing. And that's great, you know, and I appreciate that. But again, I'm trying to make it financially viable. Also, I want to work with Tommy Temper, like I said before, and Get the Smoke. Well, Get the Smoke is not really trying to do channels content per se. He's on something else, but I'm going to try and look for sponsors and branding so that I can get more content to you guys, and a higher quality. You know, like how I began. I want to get a better quality than that, so that we have intros and all that stuff. But we'll get to there in time. But yeah, Roger Mayweather, man. We lost a really good one. Of course, you don't know shit about boxing, what you used to say, but Roger Mayweather was a guy who he would size you up and decide if he wanted to mess with you or not. You know, he's pretty blunt, but he was deadly honest, and that's what I appreciated about him. And he had a lot of history and knowledge about boxing. I learned a lot from Roger Mayweather, talking about the actual boxing, what's involved. You know, he always emphasized on having a good defense. And then he also, broke knowledge on the history of boxing. You know, he was the one who talked about how, his nephew, Floyd Mayweather, was the longest reigning champion in the history of boxing. It was Joe Louis, but Floyd surpassed him. Now, Joe Louis was in one division, which was heavyweight. Floyd was a champion throughout various divisions. Nonetheless, he never broke his reign. Nobody ever dethroned him. So that's why he said the longest reigning champion in the history of boxing. This is crazy. Just to think about. I mean, this guy was reigning as champion for 20-something years, 18 years, some shit like that. Yeah, he would sometimes, leave his titles behind, but lineally speaking, he was the lineal champion. Or the champion, anyway. And you got to beat him to dethrone him, right? So, But there are a lot of other facts that go along with Mayweather. Well, I said he's TBE, and it's just a lot of facts, And people try to make excuses around him, and I just counter those excuses with other points. A lot of people say, well, you are a Mayweather lover, and anybody say anything about Mayweather, not necessarily. There are things people say that are true about Mayweather, and I don't discount it. I don't try to debunk it because I know it's true. Like, for instance, people like to claim that Floyd Mayweather is the greatest of all time, and I say, hell no. That's not true. He's not the GOAT. He's not the GOAT. He is not the GOAT. I understand what people are trying to say, but that's not true. All right? The majority of people in the world today will tell you he's not the greatest of all time. That's just what it is. He's not. Okay? And fans' opinions on the greatest of all time do matter, in my opinion. Fans, you guys, who you think is the greatest of all time. Now, of course, if you personally think that he's the greatest of all time, I can't discount you because that's your opinion. And as Jeff Mayweather said, boxing is based on opinion. So if you have a favorite fighter and you think that favorite fighter would beat every fighter that's out there, that's your opinion. I can't disprove that. But when we come into facts now, and we're talking actual boxing, Floyd's the best at it so far. You know, and I'm talking about all the past greats and all these past great people. He the best at it. So when he says he's the best ever, I don't fault him. I mean, I don't see why that's something that everybody has a problem with, but because it's Floyd Mayweather, a lot of people have a problem with it. You know, that's it really. He played the bad guy a couple of times. You know, even Tyson Fury has been playing the bad guy sometimes. Outspoken and talking a lot and stuff. And people feel he's the bad guy. So a lot of people don't want to give him the credit he deserves, but he deserves a lot of credit for beating Klitschko and for beating Deontay Wilder twice. I said twice, not once, twice. He beat him. And he stopped him the second time. So, I mean, you got to give him his props. Yeah, he did some questionable shit like fight a dude that was several weight classes below him. But at the end of the day, Rod Salka, that is. But at the end of the day, you cannot deny what Danny Garcia's done. What have people decided to do? Oh, he beat these old guys. Yeah, but these old guys were champions. You know, he beat Eric Morales when Eric Morales was super lightweight champion of the world. He beat Zab Judah when Zab Judah was a world champion, I think. If it wasn't Amir Khan, I can't remember. Maybe it was Amir Khan. You know, Zab Super Judah. I mean, Danny Garcia fought Amir Khan when Amir Khan was a world champion. I mean, you cannot take away from the dude. And I keep on saying this over and over. I'm not a big Danny Garcia fan. Okay, I thought Keith Thurman beat him in the WBC fight that they had, the unification. But at the end of the day, the WBC unification. But at the end of the day, the man has proven himself. He's faced the best out there. Time and time again, he's faced the best. So how can you put him down? Even when you look at Terence Crawford's resume, Terence Crawford ain't faced guys like those. He ain't faced a Keith Thurman, you know, who was then at the time the number one welterweight in the world. He's faced nobody that's the number one anything in the world. He's never. Not once. Right? But y'all put down Danny and you pick up Terence Crawford, you know, because what? He being undisputed. Against who? The best guy he faced to become undisputed was Victor Posto. He only faced 3 guys. The other guy who he won his belt off of, his WBO belt off of, wasn't even a world champion. It was a vacant title. You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking, man. Canelo hasn't faced anybody for vacant titles. Y'all want to talk about Terence Crawford better than Canelo's never faced anyone for a vacant title. Now, Sugar Ray Robinson faced a guy for a vacant title, so I'm not knocking Terence Crawford for it, you know. And WBO title that he faced his opponent for, I think was, I forgot what the guy's name is. But my point is, and he knocked the guy out after the guy was kind of outboxing him early on. But the point is that Terence Crawford is a fantastic fighter, which you guys claim is pound for pound number 1 in the world. And yet there are other guys who have achieved much more than he has. You guys castigate. That's my problem. Why are you talking down these fighters? I don't understand that. To put Terence on top, you got to put these guys down. What are you doing? Danny Garcia is a hell of a fighter. Canelo Alvarez, y'all hate Canelo because Terence Crawford is pound for pound number 1. But Canelo, I mean, come on now. You know what I mean? That's the kind of thing I don't understand. I really don't. Don't you love the sport of boxing? Do you think the whole world is all about Terence Crawford? Terence Crawford's the only great thing out there? I mean, that's the thing that bugs me. And then the man doesn't even face competition like a Canelo or a Danny Garcia. He's not faced, Danny Garcia's faced the number 1 fighter in 2 divisions. Okay? Sean Porter faced Kell Brook. Kell Brook wasn't the number 1 fighter at the time. Errol Spence faced Kell Brook, who was the number 1 fighter in the world. All right? Errol Spence has faced a pound-for-pound fighter in Mikey Garcia. Terence Crawford's never faced a pound-for-pound fighter. He's never faced the number 1 fighter in his division or lineal champion. He's never done that. Now, I'm not mad at him, but I'm just saying the level of competition he's faced hasn't been on the level of these. Right? The number 1 lightweight in the world, I think, was, I can't remember what his name is, but it's a well-known name. Terence Crawford didn't face him. You know what I'm saying? A super lightweight, he faced 2 good champions. All right? But the Puerto Rican guy is the guy that he won the WBO belt off of. I forgot what his name is. Good fighter, don't get me wrong. But he never faced the number one nothing. Then at welterweight, he beat Jeff Horn. Okay. Jeff Horn beat Manny Pacquiao. Okay. Right? But again, Jeff Horn is not Keith Thurman. Right? Jeff Horn is not Danny Garcia. He ain't Sean Porter. He ain't Errol Spence. Right? He's not that dude. He ain't winning against none of them guys. They're going to do the same thing to him that Terrence Crawford did in a shorter time. Right? This is what we think, at least. So at the end of the day, yeah, you beat some people. You beat Amir Khan that, you know, been knocked out a couple of times. You know, you beat that's probably your best name on your whole entire resume. You know what I mean? You beat a Yorkers Gamble that was too small for you, but hey, you're not gonna go there. He was at lightweight, right? But that's about it. You ain't really faced nobody. Ricky Burns is a good fighter, but he's not the top. He wasn't the top lightweight at the time. He was the fourth best lightweight in the world at the time. You can go check it out in the Ring magazine. All right? My point being, I'm not trying to knock Terrence Crawford, but y'all put him up on this pedestal and he pulled everybody else down. People who accomplished much more than he did. Face better competition than he has. That's my problem with you guys. Right? I'll feel he's pound for pound number one. I ain't mad at y'all. But here's my problem. When you start tearing down Danny Garcia, who been competitive with Terrence Crawford and beat his ass in the amateurs. When you pull down Canelo Alvarez, who has achieved way more than Terrence Crawford's ever achieved in his entire career, faced way better competition than Terrence Crawford has faced in his entire career. You put down Canelo. You talk about Canelo, beautiful Canelo. You know. You talk about Danny Garcia. He's nothing. He's nobody. You can't be saying that shit. Terrence Crawford knows if he faces Danny Garcia, it's been a very competitive fight. He said so. Said Danny Garcia is a very challenging opponent. He knows. So I don't understand how you guys could be like going in on these guys. That's the thing I never understood. I never did. I never understood. Yeah, you're talking about, oh, these fighters are afraid of Terrence Crawford. Why would they be afraid of Terrence Crawford? Why? He'd just be another name on their resume. Why would they be afraid of him? That's the thing I try to rack my brains. Sean Porter, why would he be afraid of Terrence Crawford? Errol, why would Errol be afraid of Terrence Crawford? Pacquiao, why would Pacquiao be afraid of Terrence Crawford? You know, why? What has Terrence Crawford done? Who has he faced to make these guys afraid of him? Anyway, man, I'm out of here. I spent an hour, 3 minutes, 4 minutes talking to you guys. It was good talking with you guys. I'm what you need. You're watching my channel. Deuces.